Hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode of How To. And today, well, I'm just going to pick off from where we left off on how we'll be using some of the grinders. So today, I'm going to run through with you how I'm going to be using the DF64 Gen 2. This is going to be a comprehensive video where I'll show you my routine, my maintenance, what I do with it, and at the same time I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to make my coffee with the DF64 Gen 2. So without further ado, let's begin. With the DF64 Gen 2, you notice that you have access to our SSB burrs, okay? So what does that mean? It's time to take your coffee game a step further into specializing what you want or getting a better grind. In this case, I'm going to be showing you a grind with the SSB multi-purpose burr over here. For the multi-purpose burr, the reason why I chose this is because it allows me to grind both espresso and filter. So I'm most probably going to be showing you how I do a normal coffee followed by a filter coffee. You're wondering what's the difference between this and the Lab Suite version 3 burrs. This is available for the 64 range, alright? So what do I mean by that is, well, of course for the 83 you do have your multi-purpose burrs available, you do have your HU burrs available, and the only difference is that you do have your Lab Suite burrs. So for the Lab Suite burrs, it comes in two variations, which is your Silver Night and your Red Speed. And the 83 burrs are slightly different in terms of its geometry. I think it's because of its size and how some of the teeth are cut. However, what we have over here is the 64 burrs. Now the 64 burrs comes with different variations. Mainly we like to emphasize and encourage two variations, which are the V3 Red Speed ones, which I have over here, and the V2 Silver Nights, which I have over there. Okay, if you're looking for nice clarity in your filter coffee, go for the Silver Night V2s, especially if your priority is to focus on filter. The V2 works well and it's sure to give you that clarity. The Silver Night coating is not as aggressive as the Red Speed coating. You're not producing as much fines. The coefficient of friction, yes, it's not as high with the Silver Night coated burrs as compared to the Red Speed burrs. Therefore, the amount of fines produced is lesser. When we are talking about the V3, you have your Red Speed coating. Red Speed coat increases the coefficient of friction, and at the same time, the burr is cut slightly different, slightly more aggressive. However, the Lab Suite burrs emphasizes more on its signature sweet taste and prioritizes a boost in clarity. So it's great for when you're doing your filter, but when you're doing your espresso, which the V3 burrs can do, it's not as full-bodied as you would like it. It's down to personal preference at the end of the day, but it won't be as full-bodied as you like because of the way the burr was cut. Yes, it can produce you fines, enough fines to make a decent cup of espresso, but if you were to compare it to, let's say, the MP or the HU, you're going to get full-bodied espresso because of the kind of fines that are produced and the amount of fines that are produced, in fact. Both the MP and the HU boast a higher uniformity for the number of fines produced as compared to the V3 Red Speed. So yeah, that's just a quick rundown on the difference between the 83 Lab Suite burrs and the 64 Lab Suite burrs. So the 64 you have your V2s and your V3s. For the 83 you only have one version. The difference between the V2 and the V3 that we prioritize over here, which is the V3 Red Speed and the V2 Silver Nights, are as what I said earlier. So yeah, now we compare the two, the MPs and the V3 over here. I want to go for the MP because I want to emphasize more on my espresso, because I usually make more espresso and I do not want to sacrifice that full body taste for clarity. I want more on the full body taste. So yeah, and at the same time when I'm making my filter coffee as well, I like it to taste a little bit stronger. So the MP burst would give me the flavor profile that I want as compared to the V3. If you just want to see how we swap the burrs for the 64 Gen 2, swapping it to an SSP burr, go check out that video, probably over here. There we go, yeah. One of the things I like to do is I like to wear a glove when I swap burrs, because oftentimes I have been cut by the burr without realizing it. As you can see, I am gently removing the collar. I'm not forcing it, okay? Sometimes there might be a little bit of a squeeze that I have to do, but I'm not shaking it like this or being a bit rough with the collar. The threads are durable, the threads are great. More often than not, users tend to cross thread by forcing it in. Now, you don't have to force it in. The moment you feel like you have to force it in, something's wrong. So it feels like it's off by a bit, just don't do anything. Go back the way you came from, place it down properly again. So what I'll do is just a little bit of a wiggle to know that it's secured in place. And then slowly turn like this. There you have it. Okay, it's in the grooves already. I'm not facing any resistance. It's easy enough for me to put back on. Remove the upper burr carrier. You have your, oh, this is fitted with the DLC burr. Great. So mine came with the DLC burr. Install, that's the word that I'm looking for. I'm going to install the SSP MP, right? So first thing with the SSP, what you want to check is what burr you have in your hand. In this case, I have the fixed burr. Now with this thick pair of gloves, I can sort of rub off, yep, any of the residue that's building up, especially within my crossheads. Or I can just do this. Relax, DLC burrs are very durable. They will not break so easily just by a tap on the table. And I emphasize on tap. That was a tap. Please don't smack it or choke slam it onto the table. I know John Cena just turned heel, but we don't want to be practicing our wrestling moves out of frustration for that. On to our DLC burrs. One of my screws don't seem to be unlodging. It's probably because my crosshead does not have a good enough placement onto the crosshead of the screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a mallet. If you have a rubber mallet, that's great. If you have a hammer, just be gentle with it. 3, 2, 1. Hammer it down so that it's in place. And when you remove it as such, you just press down, give it a little squeeze, and it should pop out right like that. This doesn't come out as well, it's rolling. So what I am going to do is the same thing. Since it's rolling, 1, 2, 3. And squeeze. There you go. This didn't go in enough, so let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. There you go. Next, I'm gonna just remove this. With the glove, I can remove it with my hands if I can get a good enough grip. Or just take a screwdriver like this. And yeah, there you go. You want to clean out the O-ring. Smack out any residue that you can see here. So bear in mind that all of your grinders already come in zeroed and aligned. As you can see, our engineering team has already added like sticker shims to align the burrs. that come with the grinder. So yeah. So if you want to learn how to align your grinder, there's another video here for you on how to do the alignment with the simple marker method. Yeah. So if you can take a closer look, you should be able to see some sticker shims in there. I'm gonna apply the fixed burr now. If you haven't gotten one yet, you should invest in one. Electric screwdriver, it makes the workload a lot faster. Hand tighten it with a regular traditional screwdriver like this. So what I do is slowly screw in each one. Okay, now can anyone spot a mistake that I made over here? Now I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds. Okay, time's up. See this thing right here? You can, great. That's the O-ring. That's something that I forgot to put inside. It's not gonna cause any misalignment, but it can result in grinds being built up underneath the burr in a short amount of time. This is designed to slow down the build-up of grinds underneath the burrs. So always take note of that. So as you can see, I've put my O-ring in there. So that's in place now. So I've shown you what to look out for when swapping the fixed burr. For the rotary burr, it's almost the same. Okay, bear in mind when you want to do burr realignment, the only area you're supposed to apply your sticker shims on are behind the fixed burr. Do not apply it behind the rotary burr. It's just gonna, your burr's just gonna spin and remove all the stickers. Yeah. So next up is the rotary burr. Now, for the rotary burr, make sure that you have like a flat edge or something flat enough for you to hold the sweepers in place so that they don't move as much and you can remove the rotary burr. Yep. Press down, make sure it's secured into the crosshead. Great. Okay, great. That is done. And this is how I do it. Use the flat edge to pry it up like this. And there you go. Take that all out. Smack that away. Just brush all the grounds through the exit, the burr chamber exit. That's what I'm doing right here. That is fine. Anyways, yeah. Let residue here. Okay. Next, place the burr. Oh. Take out the O-ring below. Make sure that is clean. You can run it through a dry cloth. Great. This is enough. Anything you can just install the burrs and then like run through 3 beans from your current batch or the coffee that you are going to be using in to purge out any leftover grinds. This one's pretty fast. It's quite intuitive. Okay, great. MP burrs are in. Now to put them back. As you can see, there is a manufacturer's marking over here. That means this part is over here at the top of the grinder. I call this the top of the grinder. Okay, so remember, manufacturer's marking, top of the grinder. Make sure all the rubber heads are in place. Okay, because if they're not, and the upper burr carrier is not sitting properly, that can also cause misalignment. Next up is my collar. Where is my collar? Gotta piece this back in. Slight wiggle. Make sure your collar is a little bit loose. What you're gonna do now is find the 0 point. Make sure that the collar is loose. Now with the grinder plugged in, you are going to turn on the grinder. Great. Now with SSB burrs, your 0 is supposed to be somewhere around the 4 o'clock range? 6 p.m, 4 p.m, yep. Okay, let's do it tight. And now that is exactly at 0. Usually I would give a little bit of allowance so that the 0 is that true 0 is slightly behind, but I just want to show you that where I put right now is the true 0 of the SSB burr.